Welcome back to the Successful CEO podcast. We have a special episode because we have a special magical guest. We have Rachel Onojafe, who is the founder of Cosmic Queen HQ. She's an identity coach and a queen activator. She is here to help guide you to make big, bold moves and big magic. So welcome, Rachel, to the podcast.
Hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be amazing. Well, I know we've been talking about this for ages, and I was like, yes, we're finally here together. So exciting.
Yay. Okay, so can you tell the audience, first of all, I'm always so fascinated by the fact that you are American, but you're over in the UK. So
Yes,
a little bit
I
about
know.
where you're located and let's dive into what you do.
Absolutely. Yes. Hello, everyone listening or watching. So, yes, I'm American. I grew up in California, small town, Northern California. And here I am living in the big, is it the big smoke or is that Chicago? I'm not sure. I'm in London. So, whatever that is.
I didn't even know the big smoke is related to London. I didn't know that.
Is it London? I don't know. I think of it as, yeah, it's the big something. It's not the Big Apple. It's not the
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in London and I've been here for like 15 years now. And I'm a citizen here now. It's like my life's here. I had my child here with my partner. And it's crazy though, because people, because obviously my accent, people think in the US somewhere. And I'm like, no, I'm in Europe. Well, it used to be Europe. But yeah, I moved over here right after college and I just wanted to have an adventure. And it's very much a part of my astrology and human design, which we will talk about. But I wanted to have an adventure. And I knew that like going out and being courageous and trying new things and going to a totally new continent, new country was going to be my path. I always felt that in my bones. And I'm so glad that I trusted myself and I gave myself the gift of travel and, putting myself out there and doing something new. And I just love it. And so when I moved over here, I did my master's here and then I went into advertising. So I worked in advertising and then I became a technology management consultant. So I was in, cool, shiny tech world. Like it was, and I did quite well for myself. I hit all of my financial goals, like, six figures before 30, all of these things. But I recognized that I was completely unfulfilled. And I was like, whoa, wait, I climbed the corporate ladder. And I'm not receiving the promise that I was I was made of like feeling fully, satisfied, confident, all those things were not happening. And so it that plus my Saturn return and a very difficult relationship. Of course, I think a lot of us have a similar story, kind of propelled me onto this path of alternative wellness, you might call it. And so I found working with the moon cycles, that was one way that I started to, as I would put it, come back to myself and really start to understand and build an awareness and know myself deeper. I found meditation, and then eventually led me to astrology and human design, which have just completely transformed my life. Like, I think if you met me 15 years ago versus today, it's like there's just so much more of a maturity, of a self-compassion, way more, exponentially more self-love. And I'm just such a joyful person. Like I love what I do. I was able to leave my corporate job during the pandemic, have my baby, and here we are. And now I run my incredible business, Cosmic Queen, which is all about, as you said, identity, business and lifestyle using your cosmic blueprint. And I'm just so happy to be, I'm so excited I get to be here talking about this and introducing new people to this incredible world.
It blows my mind that you just left corporate in 2020.
Yeah.
And we're 2023. So does that mean your business has been 3 years in the making?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's like I've been coaching for 4, but my like proper kind of all in, what that's like, right? There's this moment where you just choose to make the leap. And I went all in and I was like, I'm going on maternity leave and I'm not going back, you know? And I was like, this is my future, my family's future. I'm going to build this legacy. I'm going to do it. And yeah. And so it really hasn't been that long, but I have been able to replace my income, you know, support my family. I'm the primary breadwinner of my family and build this business. And now I'm just like, okay, where are we going next? Like we got big dreams, big plans. So yeah, it is incredible what you can do in a very short time. And it's not easy, but it's all about the inner work. It's all about the inner work and being courageous in the face of challenges. And I think a lot of us have learned a lot about courage, you know, over the past 3 years, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And this wasn't planned to ask, but as you're talking about the inner work, I would love to hear what is like one of the biggest pieces of inner work introspection that you've
Yes.
done over maybe like the last year.
Oh my gosh, so many. Well, you know, I've worked with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carissa and I have been working together for about a year in different containers and things. And oh my gosh, okay. So there's been a lot. I think last year in 2022, my biggest lesson, which really came about right as we started working together for Slayer's Summer, loved it, was that I needed to prioritize my own needs. And I know we talk about that a lot in the personal development world, in the wellness world, but we have to put our actions where our words are. And I was really burning the candle at both ends. I was thinking of my business, and this is a big one for all you moms or people who are maybe overachievers out there. Like I was thinking of me working on my business as me time. That's not me time, you all. You know, like that's not me time. That's CEO time. That's business time. That's work. And I wasn't making space in my life for myself. And of course, having a at that point, just turned 2-year-old, you know, it's like you're just everyone needs you, right? Like the 2-year-old needs you constantly, your partner needs you, clients need you, everything. But what about you? And so this was my big lesson of last year, was like making the investment in childcare, having the conversation with my partner about how I need alone time and me time. I call it queen time. You know, I'm all about my queen energy. Yes. But it's like I needed that queen time and that alone time to just be with myself and recharge, because I wasn't recharging, and it wasn't anyone else's fault. It's just I wasn't prioritizing that, and I wasn't asking for what I needed. So to honestly, like recognizing that I was worthy of that, I deserved that. It was an important part of my business that I have that was a huge piece for me last year. And then one of the biggest lessons for me this year was that my environment is really important for my like performance. And I think I did really well. I think a lot of us, you know, during the pandemic, we did our best in terms of dealing with an environment that may not have been ideal for us, you know, whether you're working from home or whatever, right? But I made a pledge to myself this year that I wasn't going to put up with things anymore. And we were living in a very small place that did not have a lot of natural light. I didn't have my own workspace. You know, it was not and it was in a rural small town outside of London. And I was like, this is not what I need to thrive. And it's important that I thrive so that my business can thrive. And so we took the leap and we have moved. And now you see, I'm in this, you can't really obviously see the whole thing, but I'm in this very bright, very open, very beautiful space. We doubled our square footage. We made that leap and that investment into a new place for us to live. And let me tell you, like my mindset has totally shifted. Like people have said they feel the shift in me, in my content. I just like, I feel so alive because I'm in an environment that really supports me. And I know that, you know, not all of us can do that immediately. I couldn't do it immediately, but I set the vision. I set the goal. I had the Pinterest board. I was like, yep, we're going to move into a place that I know is going to be the place where we become millionaires. And that's this house. So
you were a queen of manifesting.
I am.
When I think about when we first started working, I remember these were the things that you're talking about right now, about the big leaps. These were all things that you dreamed of and that you wanted. And then it was about, okay, well, let's actually make the moves to make this happen. And Yeah, and it's always, it's in your bio and Instagram, the big magic, the bold
Mhm.
moves. If you
Yes.
want to manifest these things and you want to have these things, it does require, you've talked already about taking the leap. There's been
Yes.
quite a few times where you guys have had to take a leap.
Oh, totally. And I think a lot of times we have the big dream, but this is something I also learned working. I was in a mastermind recently, and I was talking about my dreams about being like out there in the future. And I needed to learn, and I am a really good manifester, but there's something about money that has been more of a challenge to me than manifesting love, than manifesting houses, than manifesting, pets, like all these kinds of connections, network. I'm amazing at those things. Money was like is a whole different beast. And I think that I had to recognize that I was talking about things as if they were so far in the future. So this is
Mhm.
like a big kind of lesson for me and for anyone listening. If there's something huge that you're manifesting and it feels so far away, stop talking about it as being really far in the future. Start talking about it as being now. Like,
Yeah.
this is going to be in the next few months. This is going to be next month. This is going to be now. And it changes the way you think. It changes the way that that you think about yourself and that you think about what's possible for you. So yeah, I'm all about big dreams around here.
What's happened to me? Actually, I love this because
Mhm.
this has happened to me, but in a way where the thing I want to manifest, I realize I've manifested already.
Oh,
So it's like
yes.
I have the thought, I desire it, and then within weeks is happening, but I don't realize I'm already in that dimension. And
Oh,
then
I
all of a sudden
love
I'll
that.
pause and I'll think about the thing I wanted to manifest.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah, it's
Exactly. And you don't
crazy.
realize.
Yeah, like I realize that I'm ready to take my brand. I want Cosmic Queen to be out to more people. And so I was like, all right, this year I'm going to be in Vogue. I'm going to be on a bunch of podcasts in the next month.
And you're declaring it here.
Yes, exactly. Literally, as soon as I started talking about it more and saying it in my
Mhm.
master classes with my clients, talking about it out loud, like I got your invitation to be on your podcast. Like I got 4 invitations in
Yay.
within a
Oh my
week.
gosh.
Like
Yay.
it
I was
was
a part of the
insane.
manifesting. I love that.
I know it was so good. But we have to talk like with this whole topic of manifestation and using your energy to bring things to you, we have to talk about human design and the aura types because
Mm,
I really think that understanding my human design has been such a massive key.
yes.
Because before I found human design, like I was very into astrology. I teach astrology, I've got my star program, which you took and
Mhm.
everything. And astrology is incredible for understanding our gifts and the different areas of life where we have specific genius. So that is amazing. Relationships as well. Human design is so good for business, manifestation, like attraction, recognizing how your energy works with other people, because that's really what business is. That's what marketing is. That's what selling is. We're exchanging things with people. We're exchanging energy. We're attracting, we're supporting, and so it's so important that people understand how their aura works, because the aura is our energetic field.
Mhm.
That's the thing that people feel when they meet us. Like this weekend I just went to this incredible mind body spirit festival, and it's like thousands and thousands of people, this giant trade show in London. And I was like, I'm going to do an experiment. Okay. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do this experiment. I'm going to go. I'm not going to have an agenda. I'm not trying to network like, oh, let me get my business cards. I don't have cards. It's just my Instagram. That's how we network these days.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to have an agenda. I'm just going to walk in there and see what I can attract. Let me tell you, like,
Oh my
it
gosh.
was crazy. Like, I was telling my friend what was happening. So I literally just went and I just stood. Okay, I'm a manifesting
Mhm.
generator. So are you. Anyone
Mhm.
who has a generator aura, a manifesting generator aura, it's called open and welcoming. It's one of the largest of the energetic fields, and it's all about attraction. So we are not here to run out and grab people, to cold DM people, cold call, knock on doors, hustle. That's not our thing. it's really about magnetizing people to us. So I encourage anyone who's a generator and MG to do this experiment. My clients have done it at work gatherings. It works. They're like, oh my God, Rachel, this is blowing our mind. Go and just stand somewhere. Okay. I don't want you to like, don't like try and make eye contact and smile at people and draw them in. Like just stand somewhere. So this is what I did. I went and stood next to one of the main stages, and I was just like listening to the guy talking about breath work, and I was like, this is cool, just taking in the vibe. Literally one of the top speakers in like London wellness world. I won't mention what her name is, but I know her, she doesn't know me. She comes up to me and she's like, do I know you? And I was like, no. I was like, I don't think so. And she's like, no, I know, I'm sure we've met before. And I was like, no, I don't think so. And she's like, what's your Instagram? I need to follow you. I love your vibe, like da da da. And I was like, this is blowing.
Oh my goodness.
Literally, like she has been on massive stages, books, like all these kinds of things, massive speaker. And I was like, this is amazing to connect with someone like this. I wasn't coming up to her asking for something, you know, like, oh, can I work with you? No, 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 none of that. Right. She came up to me, and this is the magic of the human design aura. When you are just in your magic, and especially as a generator and MG, exuding this like confidence in yourself, you don't need to run after things. Stop running after things. Like it doesn't work. Lovers, opportunities, clients, like it just doesn't work. You end up pushing things away. It's all about attracting, and it truly works. So I just had to tell that little story.
Well, that's a good segue into into talking a little bit more about human design and astrology. But oh my gosh, that's so powerful. I am going to try that. I should have tried it.
You
I went
should
to a
try it.
VIP weekend in Toronto on the weekend, and I'm trying to think, I'm like, did that happen to me? Did I just stand there and or I would have, or if I had known, I would have.
Yeah.
Because you know what I do find now, this wasn't intentional to try to sell anything or anything like that, but I'm the type where if I do see someone who is just kind of standing there, I'm aware, and I will go over and talk to them so they don't feel. And this was happening to one of the women that was at the event. Everyone was chatting, and I was in the, chatting with everyone. And then I glanced over, and there was one woman who's just kind of standing there. So I just went into the middle of the circle, and I walked straight over there and was like, oh, and just introduced myself. But I'm wondering if that's a part of human
I
design,
think your
maybe.
third line, like that's a really beautiful, I think, expression of your third line. Like so you're a 3-5 in your profile in human design. I'm a 2-5. And there's a difference. So the 2 line is called the hermit, and it's more about kind of like doing your own thing, and people see you and they want to know more. The third line is like, I want to get into it. I want to get in the mix. I want to, I want to try it for myself. I want to see what's going on. And the third line from a marketing standpoint is all about being warm and relatable. And it's like, we just, and that's so you. Like we just love you, and we're like, oh my God, like we love her personality, like I feel like I know her, like she's got this vibe, like it's so fun. And so that warmth in you is totally a superpower, so never lose that. Like, whereas with my design, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more about image and about passion, and like me just kind of doing my thing and then people seeing it. So the 2 line is very interesting. If people have a 5 line, let's just go through the lines. Why not? I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. Okay. So if people have, so we've done 2, 3, let's do 1. So if you're a 1 line, your brand and how you can really attract people is about being bold. So it's not about being as like relatable and warm as Carissa's. It's more about like being disruptive, saying the controversial thing. So it's more of this kind of rebel energy, like, it's like a little more edgy. So that is something for you to think about. If you're a 4 line, it's about it being emotionally heart connected with people. So for you, it's a 4th line people. It's about being vulnerable. It's about, and we're looking at the first number, right? So you're going to have 2 numbers. We're looking at the first one. It's about being vulnerable. It's about telling your stories. It's about being open. It's about being emotionally connected. And then if you're a 5 line, it's more about teaching. So you're more of a teacher, you're more of a problem solver, a how-to. You're the one with the 3 steps, you're the one with the formula, the framework, the course. Like you're more of that kind of teachery energy. And then if you are a 6th line, you're more of a visionary. It's more of a, I don't love this word, but the kind of guru on a mountaintop kind of thing. So the wise storyteller, the wise sage, the person who again has lots of stories to tell, but it's more of a Yoda kind of energy. Like, I'm not going to tell you what to do, like the 5th line, but I'm going to kind of illuminate the way through my storytelling and my experiences. So I just wanted to do that little riff really quickly. Yeah, so we all have our own flavor, we all have our own flavor, but I think working with the aura, working with the profile lines is a brilliant place to start for people.
I love it. Is there anything else you want to add on to when it comes to astrology or HD for women in business and growing their successful companies? Anything else?
Yes,
Like,
yes, definitely.
Need to talk about this.
Oh, I know. There's so much. It's like, oh, I could just talk for ages. But I know I touched on the generator and MG aura. So I just want to touch on the other types of auras as well, really quickly.
Wow.
So if you're a manifester, you are kind of like the 1 line, you're the disruptor, the rebel, the person who is actually designed to initiate. So you know how I said for generators and MGs, don't go trying to like push your business card on people, don't go trying to like chase people down. For opportunities, the manifestor is different. Okay. So the manifestor is actually designed to be the initiator. They're the person that's like the Nike slogan, just do it. So for them, it's actually a part of their design to push. So being that person who's actually inserting themselves and being like, yep, this is what I do. This is what I, get on board. My train is headed out of the station, either get on board or get out of the way. That's the saying for the manifestor. So being more bold, working on that self-confidence and just being like, yeah, I don't need people's permission, but I'm going to let them know where I'm headed. That's really big. If you're a projector, very different, like almost opposite. The projector aura is called a penetrating aura. So it's all about deeply connecting with a person, and often very good one-to-one. It's like, so at a party, you're not necessarily the person holding court, talking to a group. You're more of the person who is having the deep conversation with the one person and helping to guide their energy, but only when you've been invited. That's a big part of the projector aura that everyone talks about. You have to be invited for you to actually give advice, for you to actually give guidance to people. So, but really just letting yourself be seen in your genius, that's a huge thing for projectors, so that people know what you do, so that they can invite you. Because what I see a lot of is projectors hiding. They kind of like are like, oh, I need to be invited, so I just won't tell anyone what I do. I'll just hide. People should know. And I'm like, no. Like, you need to get out there. Like, you need to make sure that you are putting like the big signage up, whatever that means, on social media or whatever, that's like, hey, this is what I do, this is what my expertise is. Then people can say, oh yes, let's get this expert in. We can't wait to work with them. And then lastly, reflector aura. Reflector is a sampling aura. So they're very like, a very magical, very mystical, like more of a oracle type of person. And they are able to just test out like the different environments and different people. And it's almost like they're tasting the buffet of life. And their like genius is in being very discerning about what they do and do not want. And so they're very like curated, like they're like curators in a museum. They're like, yes, no, yes, no. They need to have very strong boundaries, but they're incredibly, incredibly wise. So it's kind of like that 6th line I was talking about, very wise, almost like guru type energy. Yes.
Love it. Well, thank you for sharing all that. Is there
a quick one? There's so much more. I mean, there's so much depth to this stuff, but
exactly.
a little nugget.
And so with, your own business, where are there opportunities where people could dive deeper into their own astrology or their human design?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I think, like I said, when you're learning about your human design and your astrology, I think one of the biggest places, okay, so there's 2 kind of places in business that I would suggest to start. One is with your brand, right? How you show yourself to the world. But then the second is your offers. So how are you actually working with people? Obviously, you and me are in the coaching industry. We mostly work with people who are, I mean, you're also in the product industry, but we mostly work with people, I think, who are in the services side, right? So we're offering a service, we're offering our wisdom, our knowledge, our expertise, our mentorship to people. And so it's very much about whether people know, like, and trust you, right, for your brand. So tapping into your human design and your astrology for your brand, specifically looking at your aura type, your profile lines, and in your astrology, your midheaven. This is a big part of my work, working with the midheaven archetypes that I've created. So that's with brand. Then if you're looking at your offers, again, you want to look at aura type and profile line again, because it's like, we're not all here to do group work. I think we're not all here to do courses. We're not all here to do one-to-one. Certain things are going to really appeal differently to certain people. If you've got a really strong fourth line, you might be someone who wants to create a community and have a membership program. If you don't have that energy and you're maybe a manifester, like maybe having a membership isn't right for you. Maybe it's more about being a motivational speaker on stages, right? So you really have to tap in and learn about you. Don't listen to the formula. There's no formula. The formula is you and who you are, and your cosmic blueprint can support you along the way. But don't build a business just because you like how someone else's business looks. Really tap in to figure out if that is actually right for you. So it's all about personalization, honestly.
Yeah, and in your like business suite, you have the star, which is
Yes.
where people
Yes.
can go and take that course.
Yeah, that's to learn astrology, and that's targeted towards coaches who want to use astrology with their clients. So you want to learn about the sun, moon, and rising. You want to learn about the angles. You want to learn about the midheaven archetypes. You want to learn about how to read a chart and notice where someone's genius is and their talents are. Like, all of that you're going to learn in my STAR program. And then I also have a coaching certification for human design foundations as well, called HD for Life and Business. So that is that's actually currently going. We're almost halfway through that one, but you can still join, or join for the next cohort. And then I like to do different programs kind of based on different areas of business and life. One of my biggest loves and passions right now is my mastermind, the Diamond Mastermind. That is incredible. But it's really about diving deep. I used to do readings. I don't really do one-off readings anymore, because I love to take people deep with this stuff, because there's so much more than your sun, moon, and rising. There's so much more than your, type, strategy, and authority. And you need to get the blend and understand all the facets of you, and then use them in your business in order to get the most out of it. And it's about experimenting. I think a lot of times people, like, you have to be willing to do something different. You have to be willing to try it. You have to be willing to go there. But it's fast results. It's crazy. Like, when I work with people around human design and astrology, it's like, it's fast.
Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, so a couple more things.
Yes.
What is one of the bold moves, because you're about the bold moves and the big magic? What are one of the biggest, or some biggest moves, bold moves you've made that's gotten you to where you are today with your business?
Okay, I love this. So I think that I've been thinking about this. There's lots of different bold moves I could talk about. When I left my job, that was a really bold move, right? It's like, you're in a pandemic. Just like, I have my partner and I have a very exciting story, but it all happened very fast. It's like, oh, and we have a baby. Oh my God, what's happening?
We have the same story, basically.
Yes,
you
we
and I.
do. Exactly. I love it so much. Yeah, we met and I manifested him. I did this love course, manifested him in 6 weeks. We got pregnant a month later. It was like insane. But so that was a big bold leap, betting on myself to leave my job. But actually, I kind of want to pick a different one. So here's one that I think will really be useful to people to think about for themselves. I think a lot of times we are so busy in our business thinking about the big moves of, like, okay, who can I align myself with? How can I, get my stuff out to the biggest group. And I'm there too. Like, I want to be on Vogue. I want to work with this incredible, wellness entrepreneur that I met this weekend. Yes, yes, yes. But what I have really found again and again and again in my business career, and I had a wellness events business before I went into coaching as well, was that when I just align myself with the and collaborate and do things and say yes to the people that I just feel this heart connection with, big things come from that. Versus when I try to be strategic and work with people because I think they have something to offer me. You know what I mean? Like you know what it's like when people are like, "Oh, you're famous, so I want to work with you because that's going to help me." Right? It's like this very like sometimes it gets a bit icky, like this like transactional thing going on. But when you actually just focus on the person, and I'll tell you a quick little story about this. So I one of the biggest opportunities in my career so far came to me from an incredible person online. She's amazing. Jamie Goldstein, incredible astrologer. She's the intuitive astrologer. We didn't know each other. She just found my stuff on Instagram. She didn't have many followers. I didn't have many followers, but we're like doing our thing, figuring it out. And she wanted to do a summit. And she was like, okay, like, would you, I know you don't know me, but like, I found you, would you be interested in being a speaker? And I was like, I don't know who this person is. Like, it looks like, they don't have a lot of followers, like, da, da, da. If I was being strategic about it, I probably would have said no, right? I probably would have been like, no, I need to go for the person that has 100,000 followers and like all this stuff. And like, they can offer me a massive platform and, like all this like very masculine, like stuff. But I just watched some of her videos and I was like, oh my God, she's genius. She really knows astrology and she's so good. Like she's so good at like the Venus star point and understanding Venus cycles. And she's just the way her mind works is like incredible. And I was like, okay, I love this girl. Like I love the way she talks. She's all about empowering astrology, which is what I'm about. And so I said yes. And I was like, I don't know what's going to happen with this. So from this summit, I don't know how she did it. She pulled in the biggest names. It was incredible. We had thousands of people sign up for this thing. She was like, what? I was like, what? and I was discovered on this summit by Astrology Hub. So then a short few months later, they invited me to be an inner circle guide for 2022 with Astrology Hub, which is one of the greatest honors in the astrology community. I mean, this is massive. It's a huge platform. And I spoke at Christmas to 14,000 people live talking about astrology.
Wow.
Yeah. If I had been quote unquote strategic and all this, stuff, I would have missed out on this big opportunity. So I honestly think the answer to your question of like big, bold moves, one of the ones that I am the most proud of and that I will never forget and I will continue to do in my career is to work with people and say yes to the opportunities that are heart aligned, not mind aligned. The heart alignment, it will pay off big for you every time. And I have found that to be true.
I love that. I love that so much. Okay, so let's move into the future now. This is going to be the last question for you.
Okay.
Big magic. So what actually, two questions here. So what is some big magic that you know is happening soon in your world for you? And then what's some big magic you would love to manifest? And we know the Vogue.
Yes.
Some big magic you're currently doing, and then what's to come for Rachel O in the next year or two.
Ooh, okay. Yes. So something that I know is coming this year, I've started to be connected to the right people to do that, make this thing happen, is I'm working on a project to be published. So I'm going to be creating a physical product that's going to be published. I don't want to say exactly what it is, but it's going to be incredible. And there's nothing in the market like it right now. And I have a literary agent contact and publishers and so that is something that will be birthed
Millionaire move.
I know, totally, right? Millionaire moves. Like I feel it. So that's one big thing that I'm really looking forward to because I just want people to be able to use what I teach like in the everyday. And the power of products, right? Having the right product that someone can put their hands on every day and work with is so fundamental, I think. And also it's amazing for, the Cosmic Queen brand, but I just want to impact people's lives in that way, having something physical. So, and then if I look into the future, oh my gosh, there's so much. There's so much. I really want to create. So it's amazing. I did this like seminar recently about growing your business to 100 million. And it made me think differently about my business. I'm like, oh, this isn't just about getting to like 20, 30K months, right? Because I'm at like 10 to 15K months, like I've got that. But like, this isn't just about getting to 20, 30K months. This is about the bigger picture of what I'm doing here and what I'm creating, and how I can really make the world a better place in my way. And so I think that something I can see in the future is being on bigger stages. Like I'm a speaker. Like I love speaking, and that's something I haven't been doing, right? It was like we've been doing our businesses online. And so I think that speaking on a bigger stage, I don't know what that looks like, but I think that that will be coming, flying somewhere. Like I've seen it in my vision board, being flown somewhere to speak. So I'm like, okay, this is happening. This is real. It's a movement. I really believe that working with the cosmic for self-actualization, for living a life that you're passionate about and not bored by, or not just ticking boxes, like this is a movement. This is the new world. And I can't wait to bring it to more people. So yeah, that's what
I cannot wait to see this happen. It's so funny that you're talking about the flying and speaking. I wrote that in my journal this morning. So
no.
you and I will speak at the same event. So we'll be like
Yes.
flying together somewhere.
Oh my God. Oh my God. The day that we actually get to meet, like
Oh my
in
gosh.
person, I get to hug you. Like I'm just
I
gonna be
got
like
chills.
crying.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be so good.
oh yeah, it will happen for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
thank you for coming on. This was incredible and expansive. Where can we find you? Where can my beautiful viewers, listeners find you?
Yeah, so Instagram is the best place. So find me on Instagram at Cosmic Queen HQ. That is me, Rachel Onojafe, and join my email list. That's a really great way to stay in touch. If you want to learn to work with the astrology transits throughout the year, join my constellation community. It's my very affordable membership group. It's incredible. And yeah, just like say hi. So I love getting to know
Amazing.
new people, and yeah, it's so fun.
We'll have it in the show notes. So I'll get your link to your Instagram, your constellation community, and your email list as well. And then we can put it in the show notes. So make sure to check out the show notes. And thank you so much for coming on.
Yay,
Bye,
amazing. Thank
Rachel.
you so much, Carissa.